this man really trying to run up on me because supposedly he heard that I said he was eating from the trash. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexi. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and if you're a return subscriber, thank you for watching. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a story time on all the horrible job experiences I've had. Let's start with the first one, which was at Olive Garden. I was at Olive Garden for like maybe a little over 7 months. I don't remember exactly because this was a really long time ago. What happened that led up to the point of me quitting was that the general manager, he had like been out for a few days or whatever, I don't know, but I ended up coming into work and he happened to be there, and he had called me in the office and he's like, oh, we need to have a talk. So I'm like I felt like I was in the principal's office. So he goes and he tells me, he's like, yeah, I just want to let you know, if you give attitude to one of my managers, I'm gonna fire you. I said, he did not just threaten me. He did not just threaten me. I was already planning on quitting, but when he said those words, that just like, I was like, okay, yeah, we're done. I'm quitting right now. Like, today is my last day. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine because I'm gonna quit anyways, and today's my last day. So here's my apron, and I think I had like a name tag or whatever. And he's like, oh, so why are you quitting? So why are you quitting? And I'm like, because you just threatened me. Girl, why he go and say I did threaten you in? I said, and I'm leaving, and today's my last day. Like, you know, I hate these managers that think because they have a little position, a little title, that they can treat people however they want and talk to people however they want. Baby, not me. You got the wrong one. Not me. That was pretty much what happened at Olive Garden. So next one is Cheesecake Factory. I was miserable at this restaurant. The training is ridiculous. It's like 2 weeks long. Like, I've never had a training that long for a waitressing job. I'll pretty much just sum up what happened that led me to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm quitting. Like, I'm out of this place. And one thing about me, when I put my mind to it, baby, can nobody stop me. And when I make up my mind, that's that. One day I was scheduled to work the brunch shift. I really wasn't into working brunch, but I just showed up anyways. But before my shift, I had been having like a really tough morning and I couldn't call out because it was like last minute. I show up for my shift, and I don't know if the uniform is still the same, but at that time I had to wear a white button-up shirt and a tie and black pants, and of course the apron, black apron. So this particular morning, I had forgotten my apron. I had my tie, I was ready, but I had forgotten my apron. So I'm thinking like, okay, no big deal. I can just go into the office and borrow an apron and I'll just give it back at the end of my shift. And like I said, I was already having a rough morning and I really didn't want to go to work. And I was already kind of on the verge of tears. So I get to work. I'm pretty much almost late too on top of that. So it was just not a good day. Fast forward, me going into the office to asking the general manager for an apron. Like, I was like, you know, I'm so sorry, you know, this is unlike me. Like, I'm always prepared, I always have all my things. I was having a really rough morning, so I forgot my apron. I had thought it was in my bag, but it wasn't in my bag. Why this man flips out over an apron? I said, no way. Mind you, I'm already like in a bad mood. This man is like, and I wasn't even expecting him to react the way that he did. This man goes, how do you not have your apron? That is so unprofessional. And just going straight off on me, like, just to end up giving me an apron, which is kind of dumb, but whatever. There was a busboy in the office when I had went to ask for an apron. So later on throughout the shift, I seen him and I was like, oh, hey, you know, did he say anything about me when I left after I closed the door, you know, when I got my apron? And when that happened, immediately when that happened, the first thing that came to my brain was, I'm quitting. Because one thing about me, I'm not gonna tolerate anyone speaking to me crazy or disrespecting me. Like, not even my mother, my father, nobody in my family disrespects me, talks to me crazy. So you think you as a manager are gonna disrespect me, talk to me crazy? Yeah, no. I asked the busboy, like, oh, what's up? So did he say something about me? Because I was ready to confront this man. And the busboy's like, you know what? Like, I really don't want to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, yeah, you are gonna tell me, you better tell me. Basically what he said was that he didn't know how you had a child and you were irresponsible and you didn't have your apron, that's not being prepared for work, that he doesn't know how you're a mother and you take care of your child. When the bus boy said that to me, bitch, it just was like, you know how the pot is already boiling, baby, I was about to explode. What we not gonna do is talk about my child. That's what we not gonna do. You are not gonna mention my child. Mind you, my son was maybe like a year old at this time. I never even really told people about, like, you know, me being a mother, because like when I go to work, like this is the type of person that I am, is like I keep my personal life personal. Like I don't go sharing my business at work. So not a lot of people knew like I was a parent. And when he said that, that just really pissed me off. And I was like, you know what? I'm good with this, please. I was all set. Like, after the busboy told me what the general manager said behind my back, because he didn't even have the balls and the decency to say it to my face, I quit that shit. So, on to the next place. I was working at TGI Fridays as a server. And I had been at this place for maybe like a year. So one day I go in for my shift, I clock in, whatever, like I say hi to a few people. Like I said, when I go to work, I'm really not that type of like chatty person. Like I don't be sitting there talking about my life or my business. I really don't even talk to people, period. I don't think I'll ever forget this day. So I go in and clock in, you know, like a regular shift. I was on the clock for maybe like 2.5 hours before all of this stuff went down. So I went into the kitchen to get my food for my table, and this dishwasher approaches me. Mind you, I said hi to him when I first got there. So I was like, why is this dude so hostile right now? And he approaches me and he's like, hey, yo. Basically saying like he had a problem with me. And I'm like, what's the problem? Like I said hi to you. We've already been on the clock for like 2 hours. He's like running up on me and he's like, yeah, you be telling people that I be eating from the trash. And I was like, I just couldn't believe the words that had came out his mouth, because like I said, I had been on the clock for like 2 hours. And when I first got there and said hello to him, he didn't mention anything. So when I go get my food from my table, he comes at me trying to like basically fight me. I was like, is this man serious right now? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, I didn't even know you ate from the trash. And if you did, then you just exposed yourself. He's like, yeah, people been telling me that you've been talking about me saying I eat from the trash. Like, sir, I don't even care about what you got going on. I don't even care about what you be doing. That is none of my business. Whether you eat from the trash or not, that is not any of my business. And therefore, I do not care. My manager that was working at the time, he had to pretty much get in front of me and block this guy off, this dishwasher, because he literally was gonna punch me in the face. And luckily there was another server there that was a guy, and he was like a little bit bigger than my manager. And this guy, he was just like, he wasn't big, but he was just like supercharged. He was like ready. Oh my god, that day was hilarious. I wish I would have had the video, because honestly I would have put it up on the screen. That shit was hilarious. This man really trying to run up on me because supposedly he heard that I said he was eating from the trash. Like, nigga, I didn't even know you ate from the trash. Ciao. People are really something else. Anyways, so yeah, that was that story. That's not the reason that I quit. I really don't remember the reason that I quit, but that was like a horrible, traumatizing experience, because this man, like, if my manager and that guy wasn't there, he probably would have folded me real quick. Granted, I would have got up and tried to defend myself. People are crazy for real. Anyways, the next story is about to be funny. So I was working at this hotel as a banquet server, and I hated it. Like, I really did. I hated it. It was different. Like, when I had first applied for it, I didn't realize that banquet serving is kind of different than being a regular server, like a waitress. You are catering to people's needs that have booked weddings. What else? Like baby showers. It's just like catering to a lot more people than like what you typically get at a restaurant, like a 2 top, a 3 top, 4 top, like 10 top. But Girl, these events be like 300 people plus. I hated this job. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, I really hated this job. One day, I'm just looking at my notes for reference. I clock in, and you had to go to this specific area of the hotel and get like a sheet or whatever, and it will tell you pretty much like what your assignment was for the day. So they had assigned me to this private, what's it called? It was like a passing of somebody. This gentleman had like booked with the hotel to have like a private dinner with, you know, certain family and friends. The setup wasn't gonna be too much because it was like maybe 30 people tops, so it was a small event. So I was like grateful for that. But I had been like running late, and it was just like a stressful morning. I didn't have time to eat. So, you know, in the midst of me prepping everything, because you also had to like go back and forth and like find the things that you needed to prep in the room. Like, the room wasn't just already set up. Like, you had to set it up with the forks and the plates and like the buffet style for people to get their food. And it's just a lot that goes into being a banquet server. So if you're a banquet server and you like that shit and you do your job, girl, shout out to you, because baby, I was ready to quit every day that I would go clock in. That one day I was starving, girl. I was starving, like starving. And I was like, you know what? I had like a little piece of this sandwich that I had brought with me, you know. So whenever I had the free time, I can eat the sandwich. So I had been looking for the stuff I needed for the room, but I was like, we're gonna make a little pit stop and eat the sandwich real quick. So I like hid behind these curtains, and I was like, you know, munching on my sandwich. Girl, why I go, so I get the things I need to get after I eat my sandwich, get the things I need to get. Why I go back to the room where I'm setting up for this private event. And mind you, it was just me and a supervisor, but she was doing other events, so it was pretty much just me, right? Why does the manager, this actually was the guy that hired me, he's like, what is it that you're doing at 10 o'clock in the morning, eating a piece of sandwich when you need to be fixing this room up for the event? Going off. Like, when I mean going off, this man was going off on me. And I was pissed off because I'm like, dude, I'm over here doing this all by myself. I was hungry. I was having a bad day. And I had to explain this. I'm like, listen, I was starving. Like, I was having a bad day. Do you want me to pass out? Do you want me to pass out while I'm putting this event together? So he goes off on me, and at that point I was like, you know what, like, F this place, I'm finna quit. Fast forward to, I don't even know how long after that day, but that was like event number 1 that happened. That was like, you know what, I'm really finna quit. Event number 2 that happened, that had me really like, I'm finna quit today, right now. I pull up to work, I clock in. This was the night shift, and why are they talking about we have a wedding, we have an Indian wedding of 400 and something people, bitch. And I just hear them talking about, yeah, we need 400 forks, we need 400 spoons, we need 400 knives, we need 400 this, we need 400 that. And I just kept hearing those numbers, and I was like, baby, that's when I really decided that, yeah, I'm leaving this job. This job is not for me. It was just too much. And girl, Indian weddings are like 3 to 4 days long. So it was like, not just that shift. The next shift, we were still prepping for the wedding, because the wedding is like 3 to 4 days long. And I was so aggy. I was just over it. Like, I was over it. Fast forward, after the Indian wedding, I didn't quit right then and there. Easter rolls around, and I had requested Easter off because I wanted to spend time with my son. And of course, like, you know, who doesn't want to spend time with their family on Easter? Why this bitch, the manager, not the guy that hired me, but this other woman that they basically work together, she tried to tell me that she was gonna approve my day off, Easter, when I had already requested off in advance, and I had told her about it in advance. She goes, yeah, everybody needs to work all day long around the clock. Bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck, am I a slave? You got me fucked up. Like, no, not on Easter, baby. Not when I want to be with my son and be with my family and spend quality time with my family. And when I read that text, I said, girl, I quit. You got me messed up. First of all, y'all screaming about me. You're screaming at me because I was eating a little piece of my sandwich. And I was in a curtain, so I don't even know who snitched on me. But I know somebody snitched on me because the way... Like, how you even know that I was eating that piece of sandwich? How you even know? People really be out here snitching, yo. Anyways, so... That was that. That was that hotel. I hated it. It was like a freaking nightmare. So there's 2 more of my horrible job experiences. Next one is this restaurant I worked at. I'm not gonna say the name. I guess you can say it was kind of like a wing place. That's all I'm really gonna say. And girl, this man had the audacity, my manager, well, that manager I had at the time, had the audacity to tell me to go and clean the ledges. Mind you, okay, so I'm talking to one of the managers and we're sitting down like in the front of the restaurant, just talking, having a normal conversation. And the other manager that tells me to go clean the ledges comes up to me and the other manager and he's like, oh, what's up? I mean, like, are you busy right now? And I just looked at him like, no, you obviously know that I'm not busy. Like, what? And he's like, oh, okay, well, do you mind like going to clean the ledges? And I'm here like, mind you, there was a whole bunch of people in the corner, like other, you know, staff members. I was confused as to why he came and picked me out of everyone. And there was a whole group of people in the corner talking, having whole conversations about whatever they was talking about. But he came and picked me to go and clean the ledges. I said, respectfully, why don't you go and ask somebody else? Like, what about the people over there talking? And he's like, you need to not worry about other people and you need to do what I'm telling you to do. I said, what? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You're not finna talk to me like that. Like I told y'all, I don't really tolerate that stuff from managers. I don't care if you're a manager, supervisor, CEO. I don't care. You treat everyone as if they're equal and you don't treat people like they're beneath you. I don't care what your title is, what position you hold. You treat everyone fair, period. So I was really irritated because, like I said, I had just gotten there, I hadn't made no money. Like, it was like not even a whole hour. Maybe I was there for an hour. I was like maybe there for 1 hour and you're telling me to go clean and I haven't even made any money yet and you're telling me to go clean. You got me messed up. No. Like, absolutely not. So, you know what, the other thing that bothered me was the way that he said it. It was like, you know, sometimes it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. It was that kind of situation. So whatever, I'm like, you know what, let me just go wipe down the ledges. Boom, I wiped down the ledges. Why this man goes and he's like, oh, so you finished already? You wiped down the ledges? I was like, yeah, I did. He's like, oh, that's pretty quick. And he's like, oh, come here. And he grabs his 2 fingers. I'm not even gonna show my nails because my nails need to be done, baby, ASAP. But he grabs his 2 fingers and he runs it through the ledge and he's like, so what's this? And there was like dust. There was dust on it. He was like, oh, you need to basically go back and clean it. And I was just like, no, like, I'm not gonna go back and clean it. I was irritated because he only chose me to clean and everyone else was just sitting there talking. So again, I'm like, so what, you're not gonna say anything to anybody else? He grabs the rag that I was cleaning the ledges with and he tosses it at me, pretty much throws it at me, and he's like, go clean the ledges and stop being worried about what other people are doing. I said, oh no, baby. This is when you really got me messed up. Girl, I then go to the area where we, like, it wasn't a locker room because this restaurant was, I'm not even gonna say anything. We didn't have a locker room, so we just had like a POS system, and then like you could open like the bottom of it, like I guess kind of like a drawer, but it wasn't a drawer. Anyways, and we will put our stuff there. So I went over there calmly, very calm. I grabbed my things, I clock out, and I fucking dip. Like, I didn't even tell mans anything. I said, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm quitting. Like, you're not gonna talk to me crazy like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened at that dusty ass restaurant. Oh my god. But yeah, guys, I have one more of when I worked at this phone store, but this video is kind of long already. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more content coming your way. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.